Hello everyone, if you are new, my name is Marin. Welcome to another reading vlog. So this is going to be like a quick one because I'm just going to be focusing on one book. Now I was supposed to read this in June. It was the June Literally Dead book club pick. I didn't get to it, so we're going to read Hide by Kiersten White in this vlog. Now, I have seen some 1-star reviews on this, and I've seen some 5-star reviews on this, and I am very curious to see where I'm going to fall. I do not know when the live show for this is. My guess is it's possibly tomorrow, so I will obviously miss the live show, but I'll go back and watch it later after I've finished. This book is not terribly long. It has 236 pages, so I feel like I should be able to get through this in a pretty timely fashion. However, I have seen that a lot of people DNF'd this, so we'll see what happens. Now, if you are not familiar, this book is about a high-stakes hide-and-seek competition that turns deadly. It's a supernatural thriller, so there's some like supernatural paranormal elements in here, and basically this is Kiersten White's adult debut. So we have a map to start off. There is a map of this theme park that they are supposed to be hiding in, and I believe they have to stay hidden in order to earn like a cash prize or something like that. So I am really excited about it, but obviously it could go very wrong. So that's what we're going to read in this vlog. So stay tuned. I will take you along. My guess is that it will take me probably 2 or 3 days to finish this, and we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. I will pop in, talk to you about like updates throughout, and yeah, that's going to be this vlog. So I hope you enjoy. Hello everyone, happy Sunday. It's 1:20-ish. I wanted to go ahead and get on and just like quickly recap what I have managed to read already this month. So I had carried over Yerba Buena by Nina LaCour. I was listening to this one on audio and I finished this one yesterday. Highly recommend. I'm giving it 4.5 stars because I didn't like it quite as much as Everything Leads to You, which I read earlier in the year, but this was still really, really good. I really enjoyed it. She's definitely becoming one of my favorite authors. I have I think two of her other books like in my collection somewhere that I need to read, but I really liked this one. So if you are curious about checking it out, I would recommend. And then I also read the sixth Nancy Drew book, which is The Secret of Redgate Farm. This I didn't like quite as much as the previous 5 that I have reread this year. I have a goal, if you're not familiar with my like 2022 reading goals, but I have a goal to read a Nancy Drew book every month. So this was supposed to be June's book. I just got it read, but whatever. I didn't like this one quite as much. There were some things about this that really kind of impeded my enjoyment, if you will. They start off straight out the gate using the term Oriental to describe like a person. And if you're going to use it to describe like a perfume, which they also do, that's okay, but if you're using it to describe a person, not so much. So, and that's throughout the book, so just be aware of that. And then there's also this part where, George, Nancy's friend, is constantly poking fun at Nancy's other friend Bess, who is George's cousin, about the fact that Bess enjoys eating desserts and food, and George is like always poking fun like at her weight. And at one point George hurts herself, and they have to carry her home, and she actually like says to them, to Bess, "Aren't you glad I don't eat as much as you?" Like, I would have dropped that girl straight in the dirt. But anyway, so a couple things just like that that made me not like this one quite as much. I gave this one 2.5 stars. I've given the rest of them 3. So yeah, this one, not my favorite, but still, you know, an adventure, whatever. Now, let's talk about the book that I'm reading for this vlog, which is Hide by Kiersten White. Last night I did get to page 45, and as I'd mentioned, this is like a hide and seek competition in like an old amusement park. And so the chapters are divided up by like the days. So the next chapter that I'm going to read is called Day 1. So my goal is to get halfway through this book, like 50% of this book read today, and then finish this one off tomorrow. So I will be working on this throughout the day. I'll come back on, chat with you. I don't have any complaints so far. My biggest issue right now is that there are a lot of characters in this book. I think there's 14 characters who are like participating in the competition, so it's difficult to like keep them all straight. That's, you know, my I guess complaint right now is just that there's so many people in this book. But our main character that we are following is Mackenzie. She goes by Mac. She's got some kind of like secret because I think her father may have killed her sister or something. You're like getting hints of it, but like not full information. So that's where we are. It's fine so far. I don't really have any other thoughts. This was all set up. The first 44 pages were setting up the competition and the book. So we will see what happens as I read more of the book, and I will, of course, let you know. The other one I'm working on is Other People's Children by Lisa Delpit. This is a nonfiction book written by a African-American teacher who is basically just reminding people that it's very important to incorporate things that are meaningful and culturally relevant into your teaching in order to reach like minority or low socioeconomic children. So this has been interesting. It's just a bunch of essays. So I'm about halfway through with this one as well. I'm reading a chapter a day. So that's my reading, and that's all I've got. I'll go ahead and check. So yes, that is just a quick recap of everything I've been reading so far. It is July 3rd, so I feel pretty good that I've gotten 2 books finished already, and I'm hoping that I can continue that trend because I have quite a few things that I would like to read this month. Now, let's switch gears. I did get my Book of the Month box yesterday, so I'm gonna go ahead and share what I picked up. So the July pick that I decided to go with is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I've seen some people reading this and they seem to enjoy it. It sounded kind of interesting. It's about these 2 people who are like video game designers. But yeah, I picked this one up. This one sounded interesting, so I'm excited to eventually give it a go. And then I'm also working on completing my Ruta Sepetys collection. I picked up I Must Betray You like earlier in the year, and I just went ahead and grabbed The Fountains of Silence by her as well. So I read Between Shades of Grey last year, really enjoyed it. I have Salt to the Sea on my TBR for this month, and I'm just kind of trying to pick up the rest of her books. The one thing about the Book of the Month books is they are taller than like normal sized books, but I don't really mind that. It's fine. So yeah, that's my Book of the Month picks, and we'll see what I think about them when I finally read them, you know, finally. I will say I am trying to like get caught up with these. I'm not going to get all of these read like anytime soon, but I do have, what is it called? Things We Do in the Dark or something like that. It's up on my shelf, like across the room, that I got for June that I'm hoping I can incorporate into a vlog idea that I have. So we will see. But yes, new book of the months. Hooray. When will I read them? No idea. But anyway, yes, let's get off here. I've been talking for long enough and let's actually do some reading, shall we? So I'll chat with you later. Hello y'all, it is 10 till 8. I wanted to pop on because I did get to 50% of Hide. So I am currently on page 123, which is day 5 of this book. So, what to say about this? This book is trying to be a horror book, I think, but it's not going far enough like to really be horror. Anytime it like starts to potentially get like gory, it does this fade to black thing. And I think that's because Kiersten White is predominantly a YA author. So she's used to writing books for a younger audience. And I don't know that she's doing a very good job in this book of making the switch to adult. That's not to say I'm not enjoying the story, because I am enjoying it. I just feel like more could have been done to make it better. So we're halfway through and we now officially know like the plot setup. Like we know exactly what's going on. And I feel like for having this much left, it's a little too soon for that. It also is one of those books that uses letters, like letters that someone has written, to further the plot. So the description of what is going on, so like the whole point of this, like the plot point of this book, was told to us via journal entries or letters, which is kind of annoying. So I am curious to see where we're going, but I feel like this just could have been done in a better way. Now obviously I still have half the book left, so that could change, but that's my thoughts so far. I feel like this is not a true horror book. This is not a true adult book. I feel like she's taken characters, she's made them adults, but it still reads very YA teen to me. So that's my thought so far. I am enjoying it, as I mentioned, but it could have been really great, and I'm not feeling that right now. Now, obviously, the last half of the book could totally change my mind, but that's where we are with this. So, yeah. Now, the other thing I did read is I read one more chapter of Other People's Children by Lisa Delpit. I am currently a little over halfway through this one. So my goal is to read one chapter of this a day. So I will come on here and chat with you about one more chapter, but this last chapter that I just read, so I'm putting on my teacher hat here, pardon that. This last chapter was a good reminder of what's required when you teach children who are in or from a minority culture. So there are a lot of interviews with minority teachers talking about their feelings as they went through like their teacher preparation program in college and how that translates into teaching children. So it says like minority students represent a majority in all but 2 of our 25 largest cities. Now, I don't know, this was written quite a while ago. Let me get the year for you, because I would be curious to see if that's still the case or if it has since changed. But this was originally written in 1995. So yeah. It says most teachers who teach today's children are white. Tomorrow's teaching force will be even more so, which is definitely the case. Like, the teaching force in the United States is predominantly white. But yeah, so there were definitely quite a few things that I highlighted in here. And it was just interesting to compare Native and Black teachers' teaching styles to what is typically white teachers' teaching styles. There was just a lot of reminders that you need to make sure you're making your teaching relevant to your students, because that is what really pulls in their interest and gets them curious and thinking and answering questions. So it's just was a nice reminder. Yeah, that's about all I've got. Like, just there was some good stuff. So I did quite a lot of highlighting. And in the previous chapter as well, there were some parts that really like resonated. You can see I like put stars and stuff like that. So yeah, I am enjoying this. It's a little dry, as I'd mentioned, but definitely worth a read if you are a teacher. So check it out. Anyway, that's what I've done. That's what I've read. I don't think I'm going to read any more tonight. I'm just kind of chilling. Yesterday I did a bunch of work on YouTube videos. I edited like 3 videos, filmed 1. I got like stuff uploaded onto YouTube, so feeling pretty accomplished about that. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That is about all I've got to say right now. So I will come back on, chat with you tomorrow, and have more to share. Hopefully I will finish this one, and then I will have another chapter of this one. So I will check in with you then. Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. I did not get Hyde finished yesterday as I was planning on it. I was reading a little bit while we waited for the fireworks. I'm right in the middle of what I believe is day 5. I have this much left to finish that portion off, and my feelings are generally still in line where they were the last time. It's fine, but I'm not like super invested in the characters or the story. I'm just kind of curious to see how it's gonna end. So that's kind of where we are. I have this much left to finish. I do plan on finishing this today. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out today. We'll vlog it and kind of go from there. I did not do as much reading yesterday because I was working on some classroom prep stuff. It's gonna be like in its own separate vlog, but I'll go ahead and kind of just show you. This is everything that I was copying or printing yesterday, and it is the rest of the math task cards that I started using last year but never printed like the whole thing. So I'm just printing the rest of them so that they're ready to go for this year for my math stations. I ran out of colored ink, so I've had to like put a pause on printing anything else, but hopefully the ink will be here within the next few days and I can finish printing the rest of these, and then I will laminate and be done with one project that I wanted to do over the summer. So that is what I was working on yesterday. That is why I did not get as much reading done. But I did read another chapter of Other People's Children, so I'm almost finished with this one. I am currently on page 152, and I'm going to read to 167 today, and then I have 3 more chapters. So today, tomorrow, Thursday, and then this one will be done. So that's what I was doing yesterday. But now we will switch gears. We will get back into Hide, and we'll see if my feelings on this book change. Because right now I'm thinking it's like a 3-star, probably. So yeah, let's go ahead and get back into it. Hi y'all, it's 8:15 and I just finished reading Hide, so thank goodness. This book was kind of dragging just a tiny bit. There was a like day 5 in the middle. It's like almost 100 pages long, and yeah, it was a little repetitive and a little I don't know how else to describe it. So I'm giving this 3 stars. It was enjoyable, portions of it. I just feel like it could have been done better, and it's sad that she wasn't able to do that. I feel like you can definitely tell this is her first foray into adult fiction. I'm not convinced she knows how to write for an adult audience, and I'm not convinced she knows what's needed in a horror book, which is ultimately what I think this was attempting to be. So if you go into it thinking that it's like simply like a hide and seek competition in an amusement park, there's more to it than that. I would say she wrote this as like social commentary. There's quite a bit of examples of people with privilege wanting to keep that state of privilege and pushing others down to make sure that they're able to keep that. In the back, in the author's note, I was hoping that she would go a little bit more in depth with that. She didn't really do that, but she did mention that this is her scream of rage, basically at, I guess, what's going on in the world today. She didn't go into detail with that. However, she did mention how she said, finally, to everyone who still insists they pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps, for sake, look up the origin of that saying, which I did because I'd never really thought about that. I kind of roll my eyes every time I hear that saying. But pull oneself up by one's bootstraps was actually originally meant to show or to talk about like an impossible or ludicrous task. So it goes back to like a tall tale or whatever about a guy who pulls himself out of the swamp by his own pigtail, not his own bootstraps, but basically they're a collection of tall tales. It's called The Surprising Adventures of Baron Munchausen. It was written in 1781. And so it's just interesting that people like to throw that phrase around, meaning that you should be able to like lift yourself up, when in reality that phrase means precisely the opposite. Go figure. Anyway, so that was an interesting author's note. Other than that, I don't really have much. This was one of my most anticipated books. It was disappointing. 3 stars, still a decent read. Just go into it with expectations tempered, I think, because it's not really what you're getting. Although there are people who absolutely loved it. I just was expecting a bit more. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and end this vlog right here. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.